Opportunity won't wait. Don't miss your chance to own the metal powering the tech revolution. Silver isn't just shiny, it's indispensable. It fuels clean energy, drives electric vehicles, and powers cutting-edge tech innovation. Here's the catch. Global demand is skyrocketing, but supplies are dwindling. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com to invest in the metal that's shaping tomorrow's breakthroughs. As a bonus, open a qualified account and receive 2 5-ounce Silver America the Beautiful coins absolutely free. Silver powers progress, and progress powers your profit. Go to noblegoldinvestments.com. Joining us now is the legendary Lee Zeldin, who is the head of the EPA. First, Lee, I got to tell you, congratulations. That's an amazing post. Very important job. Congratulations, my friend.
Thanks a lot, Charlie. It's great to be with you.
So just kind of give us a perspective first and foremost, then I want to get into the gold bars. What is your vision for the EPA from a conservative pro-growth perspective?
Our Powering the Great American Comeback initiative focuses on 5 pillars. Number 1, as President Trump talks about, we need to be focused on pursuing clean air, land, and water for all Americans. That's pillar number 1, first and foremost. But there are several other pillars that the American public voted for last November that we take close to heart. One is unleashing energy dominance, permitting reform, making America the AI capital of the world, bringing back American auto jobs. President Trump talks about ushering in a new golden age, a golden era of success, and that's something that we want to do our part. So this past Friday, President Trump at the Oval Office signed an executive order announcing his National Energy Dominance Council. I was there with Secretary Wright, Secretary Burgum, Secretary Duffy, and others. President Trump doesn't want to spend just 4 years trying to get all of these goals accomplished. He wants to get this stuff done in a matter of weeks and months. So with that level of urgency, we're all in to do our part here at EPA.
Let's play cut 134. This got some headlines. Let's play cut 134.
Hi, this is EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin. One of my very top priorities at EPA is to be an excellent steward of your hard-earned tax dollars. There will be zero tolerance of any waste and abuse. An extremely disturbing video circulated 2 months ago featuring a Biden EPA political appointee talking about how they were tossing gold bars off the Titanic, rushing to get billions of your tax dollars out the door before Inauguration Day. Shockingly, roughly 20 billion of your tax dollars were parked at an outside financial institution by the Biden EPA. And it was purposefully designed to obligate all of the money in a rush job with reduced oversight.
So some people actually thought it was gold bars for the record. However, it's very, very good branding there. What did you learn about this?
There's been so many developments just over the course of the last few days since that video came out. I'll give you an example of one. Just earlier today, I was reading the grant agreement. On page 1 of a grant agreement, it was saying that the grant for $2 billion of funds. On page 6 of that grant agreement, it says that the grantee has 90 days to complete a training called, you won't believe this, Charlie, it's called How to Develop a Budget. So 21 days to get out over $2 billion, 90 days to complete training on how to develop a budget. There is so much to this. I've read now the financial agent agreement, the account control agreements, the legal reviews. They were amending account control agreements just days before Inauguration Day. So that video where that Biden EPA political appointee was talking about throwing gold bars off the Titanic, they actually were, not to what is just a few $100,000 or a few million. We're talking about tens of billions of dollars, tens of billions of tax dollars. I've been working with the Justice Department, the Treasury Department, and others. We want to make sure that there's full accountability and oversight established here. There's zero tolerance for waste and abuse in the Trump administration.
Absolutely. Can you explain the nexus between left-wing NGOs and government money?
So the way that this was designed, once Congress appropriated tens of billions of dollars here to pass through the EPA, 8 entities as primary recipients would receive all $20 billion as a pass-through. And then once that money was passed through those 8 primary recipients, they would go to a bunch of subgrantees, and in many respects, those subgrantees were also pass-throughs. And these were NGOs that were very well connected and in some respects extremely newly set up organizations where they have never handled anywhere close to this level of money, to the point where you have to work into the grant agreement a training on how to develop a budget. So this is something that shouldn't have been set up from the get-go. The entire scheme is something that's designed for waste and abuse. And get this, Charlie, once the money passes through those 8 primary recipients and moves on to those subgrantees, EPA isn't even a party to the account control agreement. EPA deliberately had stuff worded into the financial agent agreement and the original account control agreement to tie its hand behind its back. And the dates of this stuff is wild. The financial agent agreement, September 18th. The account control agreement is November 1st. The legal review on all of this is done on Election Day, November 5th. And as I pointed out earlier, they were still amending these things January 13th, just a few days before the inauguration. Last I'll say is this, if you don't mind. Up front, the $20 billion was given out. It wasn't like they gave out some tranche of money and then over the course of time, the grantee's coming back to the government and the government is signing off based on past performances and accountability and proposals for the future. The government gave out the $20 billion in the onset and said, here you go.
It's unbelievable. Talk also about the return to work push. How many EPA staff are there and how many were going into the office before?
So the total amount of the EPA, the numbers were over 15,000. And one of the things that I asked when I first came in, it was 3 weeks ago today, I wanted to know what the numbers looked like as far as attendance inside of headquarters over the course of the last year or so. So since January of 2024, the average attendance rate on Mondays and Fridays was about 5 to 8%. The most that the EPA headquarters had on any single day, like the record attendance, was that there was one day where attendance hit 37%. President Trump came in, he signed an executive order, it's time to come back to work. And I believe that it's important for productivity, for collaboration. It's important for us to do everything in our power to make the American public proud. We're seeing it right now with EPA doing such a great job in California, completing a phase 1 hazardous material removal. President Trump gave us 30 days to get it done. We're going to hit that. We have over 1,500 workers on the ground. EPA is in Western North Carolina. We're in East Palestine, Ohio. We're in Maui and Flint. And now, after the flooding that just took place in Kentucky, we just received a FEMA mission assignment to help with that removal, and we are on it. So we have a lot of important work here at EPA. We want to make the American public proud. We can't all do it from home.
I could not agree more. So the premise of the EPA should be to develop and to explore the liquid gold, as President Trump would say. How do we balance that with while being environmentally conscious, also having an expedited agenda to have the most energy dominant country on the planet?
Great point. President Trump, in that executive order that he signed on Friday, created this National Energy Dominance Council where we had multiple agencies all standing there represented by myself, Secretaries Wright and Burgum and Duffy, and other members of the cabinet there to announce this collaboration, this partnership. President Trump spoke about Constitution Pipeline, which was stopped by New York, utilizing an EPA rule, which needs to get looked at because this was a really important project. And as President Trump pointed out, can get done at this point in less than a year. So President Trump wants to greenlight it. We need to ensure that we are not holding back that level of progress and that we are in touch with American innovation, that we understand that over the course of the last couple decades, emissions have gone down here in the U.S., that we provide these forms of energy cleaner than so many other countries all around the world. And America sits on all of these important resources that we will tap into in a way that is better for the environment than so many other places around the world. So if you care about the environment, we shouldn't be relying on all of these countries elsewhere. Let's do it here at home. And not only will we be doing a better job in protecting the environment, it's important for our national security, it's important for our economy, and we'll be delivering on what the American public demanded last November 5th.
Finally, 1 minute remaining, Lee. President Trump wrote an executive order saying we need to have water standards, flow pertaining to sinks, showers, toilets, and washing machines. I can't stand these low-flow showers. What's going on, Lee?
This is something that President Trump he didn't waste any time on, and he wants EPA and the Department of Energy to work together. So at EPA, there are voluntary standards created through something called the WaterSense program, which we have already started working on overhauling. It could start as voluntary, but when government starts partnering with the private sector and these different companies start adopting these federal Biden era standards, then all of a sudden, the implementation with the product that American consumers are out there purchasing ends up being adapted to what the Biden EPA had set out. So President Trump wants us to look at the standards, which is what we're doing. He wants us to overhaul them, which we are. And there are rules that the Department of Energy that are looking to overhaul. Secretary Wright has already gotten his people cranking on all of that. So we're not wasting any time. President Trump said this is a top priority for him because it's an important priority for you, the American people. And for us, Secretary Wright at DOE and for myself at EPA, we're all in to do our part.
Congratulations, Mr. Administrator. You're doing a great job. You're welcome anytime. Keep up the great work. Thank you, man.
Charlie.